Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 201. Today is Saturday, September 23rd, 2017, and I'm glad you could join me today. It's pretty beautiful. It's maybe a little bit too warm for a shawl, but I really like this shawl, so we're going to go with it, and I may need to take it off. Whatever. For the second week in a row, I failed to get a good FO shot of me in the boxy, though I did wear it, even though it was 90. With my fabulous leggings. So, it has gone use and should be good there. We'll see if I can keep up with wearing sweaters on Fridays. I'm not sure. Like, I want to have, like, an excuse to wear them, but it's not fall yet here. It might be by the calendar fall, but it's more like it's sort of like easing back into Michigan summer, so whatever. I'll be visiting Michigan summers over there. Oh well, such is life. So got some things to show you this week. The first thing is the Rock the Casbah shawl. It is a Cindy Garland pattern that I'm knitting out of her husband's yarn, which is the Stunning String Studio. And look, I have a full pattern repeat. So the full pattern repeat is actually 2 charts, so I have 2 more to go, but at this point I'm sort of off the charts, if you know what I mean. Or what would it be? The logic of the pattern is now apparent to me, and I do not need to have instructions in front of me to knit it, so not too crazy. I did have to go back, so it was the case where, what was it? I ended up making a little boo-boo in this, like, transition area, so I had to, like, drop down and fix it so that it looked right. But I'm sort of like off on the total stitch count, so the transition region I think is just going to be awkward for the duration of the shawl, but that it at least segues nicely, if you can tell. And this is way too big a needle to be working with. I have it, but it is going to be a good size shawl, so it's It is my wingspan now, so it should be decent. I still have like oodles of yarn, so I'm not sure. I suppose I could like add some repeats or something. I really am having fun with the pattern, or whether or not, say for example, what was it? Like do like another repeat of this motif or something? I don't know. That might make it too big. But it shouldn't be too crazy. So it'd be the case, or what is it? So I have about halfway done, or more than halfway done with this motif, and then it has, I think, some more beads and stuff on the end, I guess. I'll have to, I don't think I'll be so ambitious as to pack another thing of super floss, or I need to store my super floss in my bead container. I don't know, I've lost. I think I lost one, I chocolated another, and then I lost a third one. So, whatever. I don't have good bead floss management skills, I guess. Or super floss for beading management skills. Such is life. And in a surprise move, I decided to work on my sock. What would it be? I decided that it was time to start working it, and then it took a bit of raging and anger to understand the logic of the pattern. What would it be? It's not like it's too crazy, but I think that the yarn is appropriate for the pattern. I do really like how these cable twists are turning out. Wake up, computer, you can do it. So I do like how the little cable twists are turning out. So pretty cool. And then I'm slowly incorporating in the pattern, but I'm only maybe in the second row of the chart, so it's really hard to see. It sort of smoothly transitions from cuff to cable to the pattern itself. So it is very well written if I could understand how all the charts got ganged together. Like, I can so it's a Heidi Nick pattern, and the yarn I'm using is Trekking XXL, which is awesome yarn. If you want some like workhorse German sock yarn that looks like hand spun, my trekking socks look as good as the day I knit them. So I'm really excited that I'm using it. And then it's not too crazy pants that I can't have my cool cable and lace sock pattern. But what I did realize was that I couldn't have a colorwork project and a cable and lace sock pattern for times when I'm like totally brain slagged. I don't know what it was, but I was like totally exhausted last night, and I was okay with working on the sock when people hadn't yet shown up to knit night, but it was bad. It involved throwing the sock across the table. I was like, where's my A game? Because normally I can be pretty sassy about that sort of thing, but alas, not so much. So, what is it? I don't know. Neighbors are playing music. I'm sure you guys can hear it too. Whatever. So it's probably not the right on-the-go project because it involves more brain cells than I have available. But such is life. This is actually my 4th cup of coffee today, so I'm going a little crazy today. So because it was like, dear God, there's nothing easy, and it was the case where, what was it, Lindsay and Sarah would be like, work on our vanilla projects. Like, we have it available, we can pass it to you. It was like, maybe I should just start something easy. So I pulled out a bag. I don't know if I'll use this needle. Probably not. The 2.5 might be a little insane, but I did pull out yarn that I wanted to make a color affection out of for me, and it's spun out of three different skeins of my hand spun that all had, similar colorway names, or similar color palettes, because Gen of Nest can be predictable in some ways. So this guy is more greens, but then it has like this like brown and yellow to it, which probably wouldn't be my normal one. This one's Chautauqua, and it is a 3-ply fractal, I do believe. Then this guy was spun end to end, and the colorway name escapes me, but it also has like pops of like teal and like a darker purple along with like the oranges and browns and that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm not sure what the color name is. It's probably somewhere in my project somewhere. And then the last one is Callisti, and what I did with this one is I actually took the braid and I broke it up into a gradient and then chain plied it. So 2 chain ply skeins and 1 traditional 3-ply, but 3 different color handling, so I think it'll strike really nicely as a color affection. And then the only mystery is like which way I would end up deciding to combine them. like, I might have to like check the yardages and figure out which one has the, or whatever, decide whichever one has the most yardage and have that be color number 1. And then of either this guy or that guy. Though honestly, with the stripes, I think it does make good sense for this guy to be the color 3. I'm thinking. But it should be a fun adventure. I'll have to figure out, I'll have to wind it. But it's all garter stitch with like increases and short rows, and it's pretty mindless. It should be a nice easy project because I have knit a color affection before, but that was a commission, so that isn't in my possession anymore. So it will be fun to have a hand spun one, and it wouldn't be my typical colors, so we'll see how that goes from there. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully that'll ease whatever. I'm not sure why it is. I've been having a rough time with that. Speaking of that nonsense, I did manage to dye some more fiber. So I did grab out some of the original fleece to show you guys. So you can see here we have some tips, and look at that gorgeous crimp. And this is a Corriedale crossed with a Shetland Cross BFL. So has, what would it be? Probably like a 4-inch staple on this guy. And this is some of the darker stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm actually saving a lock of each color, and then probably going to be saving a lock of the dyed and just sort of putting together a notebook of sorts of sort of the process of the project, because I find it to be interesting. So for some reason, I think maybe because I had more vinegar, this drove my husband a little bit nuts, because I didn't have white vinegar, I just had apple cider vinegar, and that smells terrible while basically boiling. And once more, you can't, like, this looks blue. It looks very teal. I swear to you guys that, like, what would it be? Some of this is definitely pink, I swear. Like, this is like day glow pink. Whatever. I have pictures on Instagram. Just go to Instagram and see what color it actually is. Like, all the other colors are turning out normal. Why is it breaking on my fleece? But some of it is a little bit less dyed than I would have liked, but a lot of it is much more dyed, which I like. So what I did this time was, instead of painting it, or whatever, laying the fiber out and then painting it, what I did instead was I dumped it all in the pot, turned on the heat, and then dumped in all the dye. So it was more of a kettle dye sort of operation. So I definitely have the multiple colors in a single box still, but maybe not quite as intentional. So there are definitely some locks that are definitely much more colored than other ones, but that's no big deal. And some of them that are much closer to being a single color. But I still got the color breaking. I still got, I think, my intention for the project, which was turning the gray into something with vivid jewel tones. And this is actually much closer to the vivid jewel tones I think I had initially set out to do. So what I'll probably be doing is taking this fiber, mixing it up with the other fiber, because it's all the same, it all came from the same shade of fleece, and then continuing to comb. And then I'll need to plank probably my comb balls together. So I have these guys, which look gray. I haven't been super duper good about combing a ball a day, but whatever. As compared to this batch here, which is a slice of it. Let's see. Can I show you? Or will it not be through. See. So, I don't know if that worked or not. But the white one is the more vivid guys, and then the brown bag has the less vivid guys. So I think I got it, like I didn't have enough vinegar in the water, so it didn't end up striking the way I wanted it to. Blue needs more vinegar, or it takes a much longer time to strike, so oh well, whatever. I'll mix it all up and call it good. So we'll sort of glomp everything together. It'll be a little annoying to recomb, but I think whatever, just make sure that everything's properly mixed around. I forgot. So, whatever, I'll probably end up talking about it in the next episode, so we'll just hold off on that one. I'm probably gonna wander upstairs and take some pictures for a combo spin with a lot of my nest fiber, trying to put together different color combinations. But it is not yet time for that nonsense, so it shouldn't be too crazy. I also got some spinning done on my spindle, so I started a travel project not too long ago, but I've also been working on it at midnight too. So this is Greenwood Fiberworks 50/50 yak silk. Oops. Not working out too well for me right now. So this is 50/50 yak silk, which is super duper luxurious. And then I'm starting to get into the next color sequence, so you can focus really, I swear. In and out. There we go. So, super duper bright jewel tones, and then some like yellows too as well. So I'm getting into some yellows now. So it's been a dream to draft and spin. Really happy with how things are working out, and I'm really glad I decided to split it in half because the color changes are happening a lot quicker now, and that's making it more fun to spin as well. So let's see if I can actually start incorporating things. So what would be incorporating the broken off piece. So enjoying working with my Jerry Brock spindle. It has little elephants on it, which are pretty cool. No, that wasn't supposed to happen. It's like, herp, that little end wasn't supposed to join there. I have flattened out the bottom a little bit from dropping it, which, whatever, it was a pretty sharp point when I started, and now it's pretty dull, but whatever, it isn't like I'm supported spindling with it or anything like that. That should be fine. I'm trying to think. So, it has been nice to work with, nice to have a spindle project again, especially, what would it be? So I like to save my spindle projects for things that are sumptuous to spin, so this is definitely qualifies, though it's a little bit harder to move around because it definitely just sort of floofs. Very, very easy to sort of floof out, so I'd broken a length off accidentally when I was spinning it, so definitely needs a little bit more support than other things. And we'll see how this comes together. Right now I'm spinning my big chunk of the fractal, and I think it'll be really fun yarn. when it's done. So really luxurious and really fun. So should be good. Oh, it looks like I'm spinning a smaller ball instead of the larger ball, maybe. But here's one of like the smaller balls. Oh no, it is a larger ball. We're good. So that will be traveling with me this week, so that'll be good. It should all be direct flights, so it won't be like there's a lot of travel time, but more than non-zero travel time. So that shouldn't be too bad. I probably still, I don't know, there may or may not be an episode next week, we shall see. Now the other project I have going is a part of my Spin the Bin. So this is my Nest Torfino, so it is shades of like greens and yellows and blues. The greens don't seem to be coming through super duper clearly, but whatever. So I have almost finished my second of the smaller balls. I have 6 smaller balls, but almost across the bobbin at this point, and you can see my ball hanging out there. So coming together nicely. I'm spinning it on the not ludicrous ratio this time. Going for like a 2-ply fractal. What it be? It might have been fun to combine for combo spins, but whatever. Because it's definitely like my colors and whatever. It was the case where this was like a club colorway that I ended up buying at D-Stash because I wasn't a part of the club. So it should be, what would be, all of the samples that I saw were just so gorgeous, so I'm looking forward to working through that. So that, what would it be, and I'm almost done with my bin so much earlier this year, so that's a big relief there. What would it be, because then I'll have basically, whatever. I'm probably not going to be done with this spin by the end of September, so I was like, I love all of October, November, and December, but that's... So I committed to spinning 2 ounces of the fiber that I showed you that I dyed, and then I have one more braid of Nest that I want to do a 4-ply fingering weight yarn with, so with a cable ply structure. So that'll take some time. And then the other spinning project isn't even in my bin, so I'm like moving around. I did not commit for the other parts of my fleece, so it does seem like that's sort of worrying up as the next big spinning project, which is maybe confusing that I want to do the combo too. I think part of it is, what would it be? So I did, actually right before I started to record, end my recurring payment for the Nest Fiber Club. Part of that just had to do with, like, whatever. I have 3 pounds of Nest in my stash right now, so. And sadly, the club colorway hasn't arrived yet, so I'll have to figure out if there's any like tracking information and try to figure out where it is. Because I would like to show you guys, but it isn't in my hot little hands yet. And it's a very interesting blend. It's like it's targi, bamboo, and silk. So very interesting the way the dye took on it, because the different fiber components take different whatever. Like the bamboo is a much lighter color, so it should be interesting to spin. I don't think I've ever seen targi blended with bamboo and silk before, so should be interesting. So I think that's everything. I'll be up in Michigan next week for a wedding. So I'll be, what would it be, flying back Sunday. So that means, I'm not sure. Depends on how behind I am. Whether or not I can swing recording next week. And then there's going to be a decent amount of disruption for the next couple of weeks. So the week after that should be in town. The week after that, not so much. And then the week after that will be Rhinebeck. So I'm definitely, like, yeah, there's going to be some backed up podcasting. It seemed like, what is it? The weather turned nice and then or what would it be? The weather turns nice and then you're like crazily running around trying to do all the things that you haven't been able to do because it's been uncomfortable. This normally happens in May and June in Indiana. This happens in September and October in Texas. Because in the spring it's too soggy here. But in the fall it's dry and lovely. So, whatever. So, it should be an entertaining adventure, to say the least. But hopefully there'll be a decent amount of knitting for all of those things. So it's always nice to take some time off work, so looking forward to that. Chilling out. So we'll see about next week, definitely the week after that, and then it might be a while. Such is life. It's possible that I might be able to do like a Monday podcast after Rhinebeck, I'm not sure. I'm definitely taking the day off, it's just a matter of how late am I getting back. Trying to think of anything else, so what would it be? Nothing's on my mind aside from like combo spin craziness, but I'll probably talk about that more the next time, about what in the world like what sort of crazy is overtaking. It's all about combining those single braids and making a cohesive yarn, so it should be entertaining. Yeah, I think that's everything. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.